All right, welcome everyone. Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Ascendance of a Bookworm, Season 1, Episode 14, Season Finale. Let's go. Negotiating with the church.
Oh, fun.
Selling your mana.
Yep.
Okay.
Just another kid just going to the church being like, you guys will treat me fairly, right? You guys will be wonderful, right? You guys will save my life, right? Absolutely, little one.
Yes.
Just give it all to God. Yes.
But thankfully, shortage of nobility right now that might be able to supply them with what they need. So, you got some leverage power there.
Right. So you're going to have to come with a bit of a shrewd mind to this because while you can get what you need from them, they're also going to try and set this up in a way that you will be one of their new, just consistent streams of mana.
Right.
In perpetuity.
Them wanting a resource is definitely leverage. You not dying is also leverage for them. So,
So work against those in whatever way you can by building some kind of connection there at the church. Almost like a priest of some kind.
Exactly.
That we've been kind of getting majorly spoiled that they would be...
Just a bit.
They would be important here. Just a little bit of in media res before the season even started.
Right.
But, okay. All right. Leverage the devouring as a good thing. That's different. This world just keeps getting bigger. So keep everybody around you close, but also test the limits of being by yourself in your own space with the church and stuff. And let's get everything set up with Lutz. So we've got all of the contract magic prep so that no nobles come in and are like,
we're going to poach your stuff.
We're going to poach you, yes. Because we don't know what joining the church means as far as legal ownership of your time and where you live and all that.
And you're not guaranteed to have any friends in there.
Well,
so
we
know that she's going to have a very important friend in there, but Yeah, but you don't necessarily know that yet.
Yeah, so y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
俺はマインを神殿になどやりたくない。一人で神殿にやったりしたら。ね
え、父さん。父さんは中央の動きって知ってる？
Oh yeah, because he's a guard.
The political side of things.
その話は関係ないだろ
う。貴族の数が減ってるから神殿で魔力が必要とされてるんだって。だから私が神殿に呼ばれてるの。
門で見聞きする限り、確かに貴族がよそに散っているのは間違いない。
Whoa.
So it's an ongoing situation.
運がいいってベンノさんは言ってたよ。うまく交渉すれば貴族に近い扱いにしてもらえるかもしれないって。
Cool.
That would change everything for you guys.
まずは自分にとって最善の結果を思い浮かべろ。そのために相手から引き出さねばならない情報は何か、こちらから出せるものは何か、相手が欲しがっているのは
Figure out what your ideal contract is.
私が欲しいものは図書室への入室と
Alright, you gotta dream higher.
お前はこの後に及んで相変
While
わらずだ
you're
な。
dying,
だから最善の結果、欲を言えばですよ。
No, not greedy enough.
That's way too small.
Have that be the tiny little thing you tack on.
こちらの手札を高く売ることでより良い条件を買う。
Right.
交渉次第で青色見込み習いとして神殿に入ることができるだろう。そのためにも金についてはマイン工房を登録して商品の販路を確保しておくんだ。
Right, so we've done that already.
別にギルド長と交渉してくれるって言ってるんですけど。
自分のことを他人に丸投げするな。すでに登録しているで押し通せなければ金をちらつかせてでも工房活動を認め。
Alright, cool. Yeah.
神殿で商業ギルドとやり取りできるのはお前だけになるんだからな。
Yeah, aim higher.
マイン工房を通して孤児たちに仕事を与えたいとか、生活環境を整え
Or some bullcrap like that.
あとは虚弱だということも伝えて、
Right.
できるだけ待遇を良くする交渉をするんだ。生きるためにあがけ、なりふり構うな。
That's right.
わかりました。頑張ってみます。と
Yeah.
いう話だったの。
He's like, Benno, you're impressive.
考えようによっては希望が見えてきたというわけだな。
こちらが出せるのはお金
Yep.
Alright, family meeting. Let's plan this out.
特に近い扱いにしてもらうこと、工房の存続を認めてもらうこと、それから通いを認めてもらう。
Ooh, nice.
この3つが通れば 勝利と言っていいと。
Good, good.
Awesome.
I'm glad they're actually like looking at it from the, if you're gonna negotiate down, you have to like aim really high so that they feel like they're getting good value when they go down. Or if you make those a given and you then have it be, you know, less money or more money that you pay in order to get those three things.
Right, exactly.
You can have them focusing on negotiating the qualitative aspect of these demands.
Or maybe having done things that you say you want that you then give up for the things you actually want.
交渉なんて本当にできるの？口答えしただけで殺されることもあるんでしょ？
Oh, she's really scared.
だったら私
Oh.
父さんと一緒に絶対帰る。
Oh.
そして神殿との交渉の日がやってきた。
I really wish we had at this point like met a noble so that we could have a little bit more context for that,
Right.
but still.
父さん、私を守ってね。
任せておけ。おぼし飯であるな。
マインとその両親がお付きです。
おはようございます、神殿長。
おお、マイン、よく来てくれたな。
I love that he's here already too. Yeah.
両親です。
何、両親だと？一体どんな職業を？
Oh, he's surprised how like low class they
Right,
are.
right, yeah.
What?
ああ、まさか貧民とは。
He doesn't think that he
Yeah.
can give him a lot of money.
何この態度。
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought you were going to be paying a decent amount of money. He doesn't know how rich you are, mine.
では、早いところ話を済ませてしまおう。
But that's good. You can see how they really don't care about you.
Yeah.
愛しているそうだな。ええ、そうです。大事な娘を孤児と同じ境遇にやりたいと。
Yeah, throw that jab back.
いは魔術運がなければ生きていけない。慈悲をもって神殿が受け入れて、色巫女と同じ仕事はさせないでほしいのです。
そうです。マインは見食いでなくともとても虚弱です。
Right, right.
生活などできません。せめて家から通えるように。
Cool.
無礼な。
Cool.
我らの慈悲が不服と申すか。おとなしく娘を差し出せ。
Yeah.
こんなのが。
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe.
どうかご勘弁ください。
ふざけるな。この無礼な両親を捕らえて。
Whoa, by force?
Holy shit.
Oh, this went really
just
south
like
really
that.
quick. Well, it's a good
Okay.
thing your dad's a soldier.
Yeah.
Beat their asses.
手向かうというか、神官に手を挙げたら神の名のもとに極刑にしてやろう。
Whoa,
ワ
whoa.
インを守ると決めた時から。
Holy shit.
Oh.
Just like that.
These stupid kids.
Yeah. Oh!
Done.
Yeah, but there's more. Yeah, you're on their turf.
あるいは相手にできても大勢ならいつまで持つかな。
He's just kind of sitting there.
当てつきおって極刑にしてやる。
Holy shit.
のように撃ち殺してくれる。
All right, speak up.
Oh shit.
Whoa, did she just use magic?
Oh my god.
いい加減にして。マイン。
Whoa!
Oh my god.
うちの父さんと母さんに触らないで。
She has the voice.
Yeah. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Wait. Oh my god. This isn't just mana. This is like a. This is like a channeling.
Yep.
魔力が漏れている。
Oh, I know.
感情を抑えなさい。
Persuade me.
どうやって抑え
Ascendance indeed.
しているであろ
極刑なんていう相手に
Yeah.
どうやって怒りを抑えればいい
Oh my god! Yeah, this is what the church wants.
Right.
人を殺そうとするんだから殺される覚悟だ
I'm sure, yes.
Right. Yes. Oh my god.
Well, he's unconscious. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, stop. This is...
落ち着きなさい。話し合いをしよう。
お話し合い
Whoa.
Anyone else want to negotiate?
それとも魔力で
Oh my god!
殺してはならない。
Yeah, he's thinking of you right now.
神殿長を殺せば家族は貴族殺しの身内になる。
Oh, he is a noble. Okay, okay.
それは君の望むところではないはずだ。
私のせいで家族まで
Oh, the voice softer. It's like it's more her now.
After it's already gone this far.
が戻ったようだな。話し合いをしよう。君が
Okay. You and me, we'll discuss.
Right.
暴れる魔力を抑えるんだ。できるか。
いつもみたいに内側に押し込めるように
Jeez.
All right.
Oh. Whoa.
大丈夫か。
Oh, that was so scary.
All right.
That was so scary.
いつものことだし意識ははっ
And the thing is, you're not in the clear now necessarily because now you have a big enemy at the church.
これは私に与えられた罰だ。
Oh.
君を怒らせる神殿長を黙って見ていたのだから当然のことだ。
Okay.
Whoa.
平民である君の親が貴族の命令を拒むとは。
So big they can't.
私はここまで親に大事にされ、愛されている君が羨ましいと思う。神殿にいるのは孤児だ。
Oh, yeah. Right. His situation.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
私たちは新館長の部屋へ移って話し合いをすることになった
All right.
先ほどのマインのあれは一体何だったのでしょうか。
Well, she used magic. The crushing.
Oh.
そうですか。マインの目が虹色に光って、
Okay, they can see the
体から
eyes
もやも
thing.
やとしたものが出ていたが。
Yeah. You can't see it from yourself, of course.
感情が抑えきれなくなった時の現象だ。魔力が活性化して全身を巡り、敵だと認識したものを威圧する。
Just a general surge. Okay.
色が変わるのは何度か見たことがあるわ。
Uh-huh.
わがまま言う時になるけど、すぐ収まったから。
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That could have happened to either of them.
That could have gone badly.
おなかよくここまで育てたな
Oh, yeah. They are pretty amazing, yeah.
イグイは魔力が高いとは聞いていたが、まさか神殿長を死の淵まで追い詰めるとは思わな
God, yeah.
こう言ってはなんだが、君はなぜ生きている。
Right.
That's a
Right.
good question.
強いほど抑え込むためには強い。
How?
Oh.
Well, there was some very interesting circumstances that
Yeah,
made it all
yeah.
work out.
Uh-huh.
譲ってくれたんです
そのものを通して貴族と契約することを望まなかったのか。
Well,
契約して飼い殺されるなんて
yeah, not really.
私は家族と一緒にいたかった、
Uh-huh.
本を作りたかった自分の生きたいように生きられないのでは意味がないんです
Whoa.
That's the kind of will that kept it in check.
Yeah. He's like,
Okay.
shit.
So that's what I'm dealing with.
Uh-huh. That's,
とても理解できない考え方だ。
yeah.
Wow. Oh, sure. Yeah, as a priest.
Right.
実務を担当しているのは私だ。
Gotcha. He's management. Yeah.
Okay.
もちろん今日のことも罪に問うことはない。
By everyone?
Yeah. It's his church, I guess.
館長は言葉通り、
Okay.
私たちの要求をほぼ飲んでくれ
Whoa.
私は青色見込み習いになることが決まった
Wow.
All right.
And here we are, back to the beginning.
And you do look great in blue.
Oh, yes, of course.
終わったな。
父さん母さん守っ ってくれ。
Yeah.
Literally.
Go, Dad.
ってやつで守ってくれたのは
That crushing thing.
怒りで熱が暴走してただけで正直あんまり覚えてないの。
Ah, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Instead of getting hangry, you get mangry.
でも私はちょっと安心したわ。
Oh, God, yeah.
艦長がいれば神殿へ行っても大丈夫そうだもの。
新艦長？
だってマインを止めてくれた。
Right.
そうしてもきちんと止めて叱ってくれる相手は貴重よ。
やだ、いっぱい怒られそう。
Oh, would that be such a bad thing?
Achoo!
Yeah.
And they all come back.
Yeah.
マインは絶対大丈夫だ。
Yeah.
おじさんとおばさんがついてる。
Turi's gonna break down when she sees them.
Yeah.
マイン
We did it. We did it.
All right.
He's gonna live.
It's Ascendance time.
おかえり。
Okay. Tadaima.
ただいま。
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Classic. All right. Oh, wow. That episode
Okay.
felt short.
Yeah.
Okay, there was definitely an end credits a little bit there. Okay, okay, cool. Oh,
Wow, that went about so fast of just like the, commoners.
right.
Like,
Like he's like, oh, you're not giving me money.
yeah.
Like, you lied. Like
you
you're not-
don't have shit.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yay!
Way to go!
大勝利で家族と一緒
Ah.
に。艦長、次から私神殿へ行きますよ。
Uh-huh.
日本が読めるぜ。
浮かれすぎていてさっき 君は本のことしか頭にないよう見込み習いとして神殿に入るのだ
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
そもそも君は平民にもかかわらず特別に
Those might be
お小言なんて聞きたくないです。
Oh,
Yeah, that's adorable.
that is precious. Wow.
All right.
Okay.
That was intense.
That was very intense. The speed at which everything just went so badly once he saw her parents.
Yeah.
To then, try to take her by force.
Right.
The dad's like, I'm throwing hands. I'm beating
Yep.
all of you. We're
Yeah.
getting out of here. And the way in which, the longer this goes, the more likely he's just going to have them all killed at some point.
Right.
Oh, well then mine is going to unleash all of her magic. This eye thing that's been showing up all throughout the season. We now know what it is. It's a way in which the devouring goes out of control, goes berserk a little bit. But there was something a bit off about it. It wasn't just going berserk in that it was like lashing out in an indiscriminate...
Yeah, there's an element of like, overflow of mana and you use it to crush people, basic telekinesis. Okay, but no, this was like...
This was control.
This was control and there was consciousness.
Yeah,
like,
there was almost this element of her being like possessed by it.
Exactly.
Now, I don't want to go too cooking like right out the gate here.
Right.
But I want to say that in this type of world building setup, if the devouring was to lose control, in my opinion, the way it would come out is just blam, just big, instant release,
exactly.
massive, just expulsion of magic.
Right.
It didn't do that.
No.
It didn't do that in the slightest. It did the opposite of that.
Yeah.
In fact, it just radiated out from her in a way that heightened her own aggression and her own, desires and what have you. So, if anything, it feels more like mana and what it is in this world is not so cut and dry.
Right. Like, even if you went for the angle that, like, the reason she forgot is that it was kind of like a dreamlike sequence in her mind, and so the memory didn't stick very well. That still doesn't really cover it.
No. I think we're getting into the mana is actually like the actual nature of mana is not just literal units of magic. It's it's like tiny like spirits
or something.
It's like essences of like gods or divinity or what have you.
Because
you then channel beings basically through your magic or something.
Right, because she still had like id and identity, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she didn't become someone else. She still cared about
still
her
cared about
parents
her
and all that
parents, yeah.
stuff. It's just that she was in, imperial mode, right? Where it's like, I command thee kneel, right?
Right.
Like
And in some
okay.
ways, the magic was like another thing. The way they call it the crushing, I really like that because it's hey, we don't really know what it is.
This is just
honestly.
what generally happens.
This is what generally happens.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you had this happen over and over and over again, to the point that it got a name like that, that's really coincidental to me personally.
Sure.
Raging mana going out of control, always resulting in a specific person that's seen as the aggressor getting crushed from the inside. That's like a personal profile of like a killer.
Right.
This is the strangler,
Yeah,
like, it doesn't feel like
like even if you went for the angle of it's the something about the way the world works, this is the most natural go-to way that the mana gets used when someone isn't trained with it or something like that.
Right.
That's still something where like there's that element of like but you know that you can do this. There's enough will of like, okay, even if it's just I want to hurt you and so it ends up, happening.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're playing the ball game where you're like boom, 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 and you keep missing it, and on like your fifth time you go and the thing just explodes. I get
you stub your
that.
toe, right?
Right, you stub your toe, and you're like fucking wall, and then it just
Exactly.
crushes.
And hence maybe you have that whole sort of Gone Freaks kind of thing of like, okay, do you actually mean it? Right? Like, are you actually frustrated? Hence like, your sibling does something that bothers you. Oh, okay, you might be upset. But like the times that it happens, it's the thing that is the most precious to mine of like books specifically gets ruined by somebody in a callous way. Right?
Right.
Okay. All right, I get that.
But why would that have resulted in like the mom or the Turi getting crushed?
Right, exactly. Like even then, it wasn't to that level, right? So it's only once. Oh, you are, gleefully talking about how you're going to put my dad to death, right?
Right.
And imprison me and all that stuff. Okay, I get that. Right? I totally get that. And maybe because it's in that kind of like, if it's in truly those kind of extreme situations, and it's also usually happening with the children of nobility who will actually stand up for the person who is causing this supernatural thing to happen, right? As opposed to like if it's a commoner and it's like, oh, burn the witch, right? Or something like that, right? Then maybe it's something where it's infrequent enough, even within cases of the devouring, that it's not like, oh, you have the devouring, you're now a threat to, people around you, and we have to...
Well, that's part of it.
Right?
That's part of it. You have magic.
Sure, yes, totally.
Yeah. You upset the established order just by existing.
No, right. I'm more saying just not in the, like, you need to have Hulk-style perfect Zen, otherwise, you're a natural disaster or something.
No, I get that, but I'm saying that, like, they called it a name, like, not a...
Right.
So that means it's happened a lot.
Yes.
Because, again, I'm not talking about a lot every day. I'm talking about a lot in the church's historical records.
Right.
Yeah.
Enough for it to be a pattern within the small pattern of people that have the devouring, and then within
What's
that...
the only pattern?
Well, right. But even on top of that, enough of a pattern that the church is, like, very aware of it, right?
Well, okay, so it doesn't have to be the church. It's just that this is what happens when people's devouring mana goes out of control.
Right.
That feels to me just either this is a form of there was like a word or two missing from the subtitles where this is a way in which the devouring goes out of control, not like the way the devouring goes out of control, because they called it the crushing. Oh. There is basically, I don't want to spend too much more time cooking on this, but basically that seems way too specific for what it actually was, unless we don't know exactly what it actually was.
Sure.
And that's what I'm leaning towards, is that she was actually channeling some kind of spirit. She was channeling some kind of god. So she was channeling some kind of extra natural, supernatural being.
Yeah. The fact...
And it merged with her in order to give her the ability to kill this guy, basically.
Yeah, I think it definitely can't be discounted that we, like... at the time when we get all of the, like, a lot of the new magic rules and things like that, and understanding of that side of the world, is not long after we also got the whole church's story about the gods.
Yes.
Not that that necessarily is verbatim accurate, right? But, you know, that's...
It's important.
It's bringing up
important.
direction that the supernatural aspects of the world could theoretically go in.
Well, no,
right?
they will go in that way in some way. It's just that it's important.
To what degree?
It's important to a degree, yeah. As far as the emotional conflict of the story, having the parents go was not something that I initially thought of as being scary.
Me neither.
Because the old guy, I didn't consider him a noble. I just thought he was a generic priest. But no, the idea that he's not wearing the blue, he's not wearing the gray, he's not a priest. He's a noble. He's somebody that basically is a noble that presides over the church, but he's not a priest. He's not subservient to the church. He's like, I am the church.
Right. He's the equivalent of, like, you know, some archbishop or, you know, or something like that. Or
right. But he's noble. He's somebody that not only has magic or has like that kind of power and influence and stuff, that he could just kill the parents and nobody would care or do anything about it.
There
wouldn't be riots in the street. There wouldn't be anything. He could just do that.
Exactly. I didn't fully connect the dots until Turi talked about, like, hey, I don't want you guys to, like, get killed for trying to negotiate because you're commoners.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Benno's not going to be going to help out with the negotiations.
Well, because he's not her parent.
Right, because he's not her parent. He wasn't invited, you know, and all that stuff, right? And then the idea of, oh, right, that's that other side of negotiations. You are going into their territory, right? Like, they, in a very physical sense, they could do whatever they wanted, right?
And there's nothing really they could do to stop you.
Nope.
There's still this, like, very, very, like, odd thing that was in my head, and I don't know why, basically that, we're in civilization, therefore everyone will act civilized.
Right.
That's not how that works.
Nope.
So the reminder that we have a very classist society, because obviously medieval times and such, but also the parents are at some of the, like, bottom 5 rungs of this 100 rung, you know, like, civilization here.
Right. And also kind of a fun little side consequence as a result of mine being so dolled up and everything because of a lot of her inventions.
Yeah.
This dude probably looked at her and is like, yes,
She's
noble's
a
daughter.
Or no, like a merchant's.
Or a high-end merchant's daughter.
High-end merchant's daughter. That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
He was basically thinking was that, like, oh, you can pull this kind of money? Yeah, that makes sense of a, you know, rich
Oh, yes, I
daughter.
suppose we could make an exception.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Right.
Right. But it's Benno's not her dad. A gate
and the
soldier
guildmaster
captain.
certainly isn't her dad, you know.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good point. The hair products, primarily, the clothes, kind of.
The whole, like, knitted flowers and everything.
The knitted flower thing, exactly. Yeah. But that was so cool to see Dad
just be like, nah.
Just go
Over
there,
my
just
dead
being
body.
like, yep, nah, I was ready to die. And I was just like, no.
Oh,
no.
shit. Like, that's that's also such a wonderful way to keep the, sort of the, inconvenient innocence of the main character going, because even though they're not as old or as young as mine is, right?
Right.
They are still young.
Yeah.
And so that kind of ignorance of, oh, yeah, mom and dad coming with me to talk to the people at the church. And the dad is thinking in his head, there's a good chance I'll die. You know, right? Like,
right, but my daughter's life is on the line. I'm absolutely going to go
right,
there.
So of course I'm going to, right? But mine probably wasn't necessarily even thinking, about
we weren't
that.
thinking about that either. But,
Right.
like, I love that because we were just as in the dark as mine was. And to the point where there were things that were hinting him saying that, like, I will not have you go to the church. There is no way I'm having you go to the church. And we're thinking, oh, it's because it's a bad living situation. It's like, no, church is filled with nasty people.
Right.
There's nobles attached to that, a.k.a. nasty people.
Right.
So he's like,
even in
nah.
the good situation where you're not being actively taken advantage of and just
Right.
passively taken advantage
You
of.
could be.
You would probably die.
Yeah.
But on top of
Eventually-
that, if they have an interest in you, if they know that you exist and know your name,
No. And he's like, no, I did not work my ass off. I did
Right,
not
exactly.
get to this situation where I'm in to give you up to where they could do
Right.
whatever they want with you.
Yeah.
And I would have no say in that.
Like
so
the-
he's like, you're damn right I'm going to show up.
Yep.
And I'm going to have my hands prepped and ready to throw down.
These-
and yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They want to negotiate. Okay, cool. Oh, they're going to disrespect you. Oh, they're going to take you.
Yeah.
All right. Guess I'm taking like 7 of them with me.
right,
All
right,
Here we
knocks
go.
out the 3 dudes. Anyone else want to negotiate? You know, like
I just love how much the mom didn't like say, no, husband, no,
Yeah.
Gunther, don't do it.
Right.
She was like,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
Like puts,
Right.
puts mine behind her and is like,
all right.
Yep.
This is part of it.
I was half expecting her to start rolling up her sleeves
Yeah.
as well and being like, you know,
Right. Personal headcanon that they had like one of those like private parent conversations that the kids like might be aware that like, oh, mom and dad talked about something, but they have no idea what about, you know? And it's the, hey, hun, so this, yeah, it's okay. What do we do with it? So here's what you do. You know, right? Like,
well, the scary thing with this was that they could have orphaned Turi just literally here, and she wouldn't have had anything to do.
right. And Turi was like just old enough to like realize like, wait a minute.
Which is why I don't think they really had that conversation because then the mom wouldn't have come. So let's not orphan her completely, you know?
That's fair. Yeah.
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 But to be fair, they didn't think necessarily it would go this badly so quickly.
right. Like,
Because from their perspective, they're like, okay, this is odd. We've never heard of anybody
Right,
getting
like-
invited by the church in this way.
Exactly.
So we're learning about the devouring. We're getting our minds stretched as to what this world is like. Okay, well, we're gonna be like your guardians, kind of looking after
exactly.
you.
We're that safety net because this feels very weird, but at the same time, you've been doing a lot of weird things that we, weren't sure what to do, how to handle all the way up until now.
So we're gonna lend like
so maybe
weight
this
to your
is another
voice.
one of those. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Oh, stranger danger. All right. Let's throw hands.
Because I would be like, wait, if they had a conversation about it, that's one of those, okay, Ava, here's a knife, like before we go to the church
Right.
and stuff. I didn't see them inspect their clothes or what have you.
Yeah. I am like.
Because that's how bad it would be if they thought it would go that south that quickly.
Well, and that's the thing where the head priest, way to go.
Yes.
Because I would be so worried about the idea of, okay, even if this guy agrees and stuff,
Sure.
how powerful is that dude that you knocked out? Because it could be something where it's like, hey, like, was he wearing blue robes? Nah, he was above blue robes. So,
I think this is just a thing here that I'm guessing because the head priest was able to make this kind of call here. I don't think he's in the hierarchy. So I think the primary thing that he has basically is he's trying to potentially steal away a girl who primarily what he's looking out for is not the church, but himself. The idea that if he's a noble, he can set up a contract deal where he's like, okay, you will give the church this amount here, and then they will take care of you. But then after that, I'm going to take you.
Sure.
You'll be in service to me, and I can. And he's probably done this a bit, where it's the like, why do you think he's here?
Sure, yeah.
He's
And that's
basically overseeing that kind of stuff, where he can then take and pick and grab
Right.
extra mana or what have you from those that
Yeah.
he needs.
And hence where the head priest being her advocate in this new environment, to whatever degree he like needs to actively versus just generally be her advocate, is going to be really cool because like having that explanation of like why he didn't step in earlier is because he's like, well, no one defies nobility, right? So yes, he's saying some, pretty,
Heinous stuff.
pretty heinous stuff, pretty unfaith-like stuff,
But it's also just, this is typical nobility stuff,
right.
too.
Nobody's gonna get hurt. They'll basically, bow and all that stuff, and then okay, I'll try and make sure that you're all right.
Right, right.
And then
Dad
oh
defied
shit,
them.
oh shit, oh this is going there. Oh, fuck. Okay,
Right.
Stop.
But he didn't
you know.
step in once Gunther started fighting.
Right.
He stepped in once he was like, Oh, she's killing him. Oh,
right.
Well, then, hold on. I can make all this go away if you don't kill him. But if you do, then it's
I
too
can't
far.
cover that. Yeah.
Which I think makes it very clear that he does have a lot of sway. And it's that if a noble was to basically take away and or kill, like, they've never threatened to execute her.
Right.
The idea that she is so valuable that it's no, you, noble, were an idiot here. How dare you? It's like, no. Do you realize
we have 4 people that can do what mine can do?
Right. You know? We really need her right now. And honestly, you could have had this whole thing go so much better.
Right.
If you just properly negotiated here.
Exactly.
Rather than going straight to violence.
Yeah.
So this is on you.
You got greedy. You thought that you could just, get her for free, basically, because her parents were commoners.
And this is the other thing that's pretty crazy. The release of that mana wasn't harming mine physically.
Right.
I want to bring up something very...
She was that little bit tired after, but,
Well, right.
He caught her and then she was fine.
Right, but tired after.
Right.
Which I want to bring up a little, reminder here. The devouring is not something actively, coming in. It's something going out. And because she doesn't know how to properly release it, it's causing the container, basically, that she is to rattle and fracture.
Could you theoretically be like, hey, get her pissed off enough that she starts truly venting the mana.
Right.
And then you don't need magic items. But
some people are going to die.
There's ethical issues with that.
So what's implied, in my opinion, here a little bit, is that if she started crushing people, no one would be able to stop her.
Well, you're right.
It would be literally a Carrie situation from that one horror movie and stuff, where she'd just start telekinetically killing anybody that she wanted.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that because she's a kid with the devouring, this has all been building with no release for all this time. So she could probably just rampage through the church.
And she also has nothing to lose.
Right?
From a certain point of view.
Well, I would just say forget her as being desire and what have you. She was being basically possessed by her own magic.
Sure. Yeah.
She could just go through the church, and because of the way the head priest responded to this, he did not try to counter her magic with magic. He cannot do anything to defend against it.
He basically did the get down, Mr. President. Right.
And was if he can't do anything with that, nobody can in the church.
And because something else I want to point out is that he was shocked that she was there's the crushing happening at all, right? But he was very surprised that she was actually able to take it to the point where she was going to kill the priest. Afterwards, he was like, how are you still alive?
Right.
Like actually how? Right?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. And so the idea that this might be something where normally when the crushing happens, someone gets a broken bone or some furniture gets smashed or something like that or whatever, right? But, maybe it doesn't necessarily end with someone dying, right?
Or the child is 2 years younger and thus they haven't built up all that, mana and stuff. So they're actually they're just weaker. There's all kinds of fun explanations with this. Basically, this story, hit the nail on the head with regards to the way that the devouring and everything connected to it builds the world out in a really, really interesting way.
And this is also a really fun way that we can take the thing where we were like, oh, but now if the devouring is just a negotiating thing where it's actually the thing that fixes her problems because everyone wants her mana, how do we keep the sort of tone and driving force that it has been for the story going, given that it's now going to be the thing that fixes everything? Well, because it also does stuff like this.
It also does other stuff.
And so, cool, there's lots of mysteries and things that we have to unpack and, which is work around and
which
all
is why
that.
I'm attacking any kind of proper noun name that they give for these kind of stuff, because these kinds of things, because those are the proof of where they stopped discovering.
Right, they're describing the symptoms.
They're describing the symptoms. They do not actually know fully what it is.
Right.
They know enough to be able to localize it into a name.
Yeah.
Actually, localization, But as far as perfect translating stuff, these are really good things to put in your book.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, can you imagine?
The story of how I was reincarnated into another world and personally survived the devouring as a commoner.
Right. Like you want to talk about revolution. Like, hell.
That changed the world.
Yeah, exactly.
That changed the world. Now, obviously, she is a reincarnated person into another person's body.
An outlier for sure.
Right, who specifically basically gave up and died so that she would be there. But the thing is that transition wasn't so cut and dry necessarily. So there might even be something of where what was channeled here wasn't even necessarily something mysterious. It could have just been mine.
Oh.
That could have been her original self that got channeled there.
That's fun.
And the idea that her person, her actual soul, because she's basically the parasite.
Right, realizes that her parents are in danger, and that's where, that's fun. That could be how you get the loss of memory, but still having what seems like the same identity, because it's get away from my parents. It's still her parents. Yeah. Oh, I like that. And that'd be such a fun way to do a twist on the sort of monster within alter ego kind of deal, because it's actually just a completely different person that has a lot of similarities to you, right? A lot of similar circumstances and things like that, and so they are an actual person that you can talk to and come to a working understanding with, rather than just some monster.
I think it's decently likelihood that that's an explanation that they could go with,
but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the one they're going to go.
It doesn't mean it's.
But the fact that there are fun things like that we can come up with is it could be that. That just goes to show how fun the mystery is that they've set up, right?
And the way in which the world's logical kind of step-by-step progression gets us to think about these things, because we know they're going to progress it in these ways. These aren't just kind of the writer just making up an explanation for this and being like, okay, now we've solved the thing, let's move on. It has no actual bearing on the rest of the world. It's no, it's all connected. Yep. It all feels very consistent in that regard. The final character thing, head priest, was very shook by everything that happened here, but he was especially shook by if I can't live the way I want, then life's not worth living. Right. And he said, I fail to comprehend that perspective. I don't understand that. So I love so much that he basically showed vulnerability in that instance and a form of honesty that was what are you? What was that?
So my personal take on this, and this doesn't have to be what it is, but that feels like it goes into play with the fact that he is a priest, right? If he lives his entire life in submission to God, basically, right? Then the idea that it's or the gods, right? That if I can't live my life the way that I want, then I'd rather just die, right? That's on the one hand, he's also an adult, so that's a very childish binary kind of perspective, right?
But she said it with the confidence of a not child.
Exactly, right? And so it's this don't add up,
right? So to me, I think it flies in the face of a few things. One, he was sent here because effectively his parents abandoned him,
right?
So he envies her parental care,
right? Now, because he probably didn't want this at the beginning and had to adjust to it.
He probably still doesn't want this in a lot of ways. It's just what he has, and he has.
This is his lot in life now, and make the most of it.
This is what it means to be an adult: is you just roll with what you've got, and it sucks sometimes.
Right.
But I think the other thing is that for most people, when they are in a shitty situation, survival is what you'd want more than anything else.
Right.
And she basically said, no, I would rather not survive than not live at this ideal.
Right.
Which is basically something that anyone can say but not necessarily believe. But the way in which she said it makes him believe that she believes it.
Right. And the thing is, I think she does believe it.
Oh, she absolutely believes it.
Right, she absolutely believes it because she's already died.
Right, and so it's faced death, so it's not scary to her.
This is not scary anymore. This is my victory lap, basically. This is my second chance, whatever. So yes, I'm absolutely gonna go for the great Dalmoody, all the stars lining up, right? Get all the things that I want because...
Which is awesome for your protagonist to have as well.
That kind of idealism
I want to
and
tackle
stuff.
the other thing here, which is the idea of death. And priests, primarily, religious organizations in general, are formed basically to tackle and provide easy answers to life's big questions, like death.
Right.
It's a very scary thing.
Where did we come from? Where are we going?
Yeah. It is something that almost everybody, obviously there's some that just are a little bit crazy, but fear it on some level.
Sure.
That is why we move with any bits of urgency on a deep primal subconscious level, is that you only have so much time.
The gift of Iluvatar.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Silmarillion reference.
So if he's able to see someone that has grappled with death on their own world building understanding, and he's like, oh, and you're not scared of it anymore for some reason.
Right.
And
a
priest, probably actually know some of the fundamental mechanics of how death works in this world.
Sure.
And also probably wonder at some of the things that aren't answered. So I think in this moment, he was like, I need to foster your growth.
Right, it very much feels like
the
wisdom of the babe, basically,
exactly.
right? The learned man that's like, wait, huh?
Yeah.
And suddenly his whole, and that's probably where the concept of always the student comes from, because you never know when there will be something that absolutely just rocks your world, and you're just like, but... wow. Okay,
I need to sit
all
on
right.
that. I need to sit on that. But the show just continually improves. Constantly also builds upon the characterization of the side characters in a way that feels not like you're just having them chime in with their catchphrase or their lines or what have you. They have wants, goals, desires, dreams, hopes, fears, and all that. And we saw pretty much everybody's on display this episode.
Yes.
So there was no wasted time or characters or space, and the pacing felt really good. So this is where we're headed post season 1. I'm really excited for season 2.
Me too. So, and thank you for recommending this show for as long as you guys did, because knowing that this was how season 1 ends, and with the pattern that we have established, it's probably just going to keep getting better and better. Oh yeah, this must have been a real bitch to sit on, right? Just they don't know.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Right, exactly.
Very much intended.
Yes.
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You got an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.